DC Comics is a pathetic shadow of its former self, and instead of learning from other comic book companies like Marvel that made the mistake of pushing away their core audience, their core fan base, so that they could pander to a new audience that never actually materialized, they focused solely on identity politics and diversity and inclusion instead of actual storytelling, and as a result, no one came and read their books, no one read these comics, no one cared about these characters, and it ended up being a colossal failure. DC instead decided to do exactly that. And now, as we've seen time and time again, it is failing to the point where it's reported now that DC may not be around for that much longer. They may cut the comic line entirely as Warner Brothers Discovery looks for ways to save money. And this, what we're seeing right now, the backlash to the Hispanic Heritage Month cover, this is part of the problem. Because when they go out and they pander to different groups of people this way, it comes off so cringe and so stupid. Yet they continue to do it, and they continue to double down, and they continue to fail. DC Comics criticized for Hispanic heritage covers featuring Mexican food. That's right, once again, not all that far removed from the Miles Morales Thor, if you guys remember this. What if Miles Morales was Thor? When it seemed like the writers had never really heard a black person speak before, but they just took every stereotypical thing you could imagine for a black person and tried to apply that to Miles Morales Thor, and it came off so cringe and got roasted to hell and back. Well, what happened with Marvel is now happening with DC for Hispanic Heritage Month. Check this out. DC Comics artist Jorge Molina responds to publisher's cartoonish edit of his Green Lantern-centric Titans United Blood Pact Hispanic Heritage Month cover variant. Now, think if you're going to do Hispanic Heritage Month, which I think is cringe, right? I think it's cringe to market your things based on these pride months, whether it be gay pride, whether it be Black History Month, whether it be Hispanic Heritage Month, Asian Pacific Islander, whatever fucking month there is. You should stop focusing on trying to get a little bit of a sales boost by hopping on board some sort of virtue signal. Just write good shit. Just draw good shit. That's it. If you tell a great story, people are gonna come no matter what. You don't need to resort to these stupid, pathetic efforts to market your comics. But if you are going to do it, I do think there's a good way to do it, and I think there's a wrong way to do it. As you can tell from these two edits, which we're gonna get into this story, one which has Kyle Rayner standing there holding a Mexican flag in the background, some really cool stuff, the lantern in one hand. You know, okay, if that's the way you want to honor, Hispanic Heritage Month. A way that maybe you want to avoid is just by making it a joke and having him hold tamales, a bag of tamales. That's what's going on now. That's what the people at DC Comics thought would be a good way to display Hispanic Heritage Month. Showing a Green Lantern carrying tamales, because that's all they think about you. If you're Hispanic, that's what they associate with you, food. How fucking stupid are these people? If I was going to do a parody of what I thought these companies might do to virtue signal, this is something that I would do because it's laughable. Yeah, you just have maybe every different Hispanic character holding a different type of food because that's something people associate with Hispanic people. That's what DC Comics has done. DC Comics artist Jorge Molina is less than thrilled with DC Comics after the publisher repurposed his shelved Hispanic Heritage Month variant cover for the upcoming Titans United Blood Pact from a sweeping tribute to a noted Mexican artist into a cartoonish tribute to performative diversity. Commissioned by DC Comics in the tribute of September's period of cultural recognition, this year's Hispanic Heritage Month variant covers center around the theme of food and features the publisher's various Hispanic characters and cuisine-related activities. Look, you have Jaime Reyes eating tacos, and I think in this other article they show other things. Jaime Reyes eats tacos. There's Bane with flan. It looks like Hot Girl is down here. Hot Girl is getting food from a cafeteria, Plantaditos Fritos. This is what they did. This is how they decided to pay tribute to Hispanic Heritage Month, by having different Hispanic characters eating tacos and burritos and flan, and in the case of Kyle Rayner, tamales. Let's take a look at this. As first revealed by the publisher back in June, its original theme variant cover featured Green Lantern Corps 4th Earthbound member Kyle Rayner standing against the construct, the coat of arms of Mexico, itself cradling a cornucopia of tamales with the flag and its ancestral nation gripped firmly in his hands. So there you can see right here, this is what it was originally kind of supposed to be like. That I think, if you're going to pander, I guess this might be the better way to do it. I did this cover for DC. Kyle Rayner, I think he misspelled Rayner, which is interesting. I believe it's A-R or A-Y-N-E-R. Having a Mexican background and being Mexican myself, it was a great honor to have the opportunity to pay tribute to my country and its roots. That's why I decided to pay homage to Jorge Gonzalez Camarena. He did add a Mexican muralist I admire. La Patria is probably his most recognizable work. Due to some legal issues, this cover was not supposed to see the light of day. It's unfinished because the Mexican flag is incomplete and the Green Lantern chest logo is missing. You can't see there's no logo right there. Well, that's not the end of this story. How this image got promoted by DC is a mystery to me. Don't know if it was a mistake or in the end they decided to go for it. There's a variation of this cover, but I'm so glad this one is out there for the world to see since it's my original idea to pay homage. By the way, I see a Meta PCs ad. Shout out to Meta PCs. I love those guys. If you need a new PC, if you're looking to upgrade, check out the link in the pinned comment below and in the description below. Use code RK Outpost for a discount. Unfortunately for Molina, it's since been confirmed that his covers promotion as part of DC's September solicits was a case of the former and even worse. The version that did make it has been almost cartoonishly offensive edit of his original work. This is originally what it's supposed to be right here. What does it end up being? Here you go. Viva Mexico! With a bag, a plastic bag of tamales that are like floating out because he's in space right now. This is what they think of you. The people they're trying to pander to, they just think you're a fucking stereotype for any Hispanic people out there. This is what they think. This is the way they're trying to sell comics to you. Just the same way as Marvel did with this Thor issue. The same fucking thing. The same thing when it comes to Pride Month, all that shit. Like, oh, you know what we need? We need to turn Superman gay and having him kiss the weirdest looking motherfucker we could possibly imagine. The most gay of gay people that we could possibly think of. That's what we're going to have him do because this is how we pander. This is sad and this is pathetic, and I love that DC is getting blown the fuck out over this right now. And then he responds, right, just the other day, hard to keep my mouth shut. All I can say is one has my signature, the other one doesn't. Go figure. This is so laughably cringe, but exactly what we should expect from current day comics. This is why DC is failing. This is why Marvel Comics has been failing, because they continue to focus on things like this, on virtue signaling and pandering, instead of paying the right people, hiring the right people that can actually tell stories, they can actually draw these things in a compelling way. That's the problem. And until they fucking fix that, nothing's going to change at these woke companies. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.